Not all counselors are created equal. No. And the easiest way to just think about this is every single profession you've ever come across. And I always think about teachers. You know?
Yes,
we
perfect.
all have a favorite teacher.
Yeah.
We all have teachers that we really didn't like, that we didn't vibe with. We all have teachers who put us to sleep, maybe, if you're like me. You know, maybe you're not. And then you have ones that you really resonated with, that really just kind of were awesome, that you looked forward to going to, that related on you in a real way. You know, just fucking awesome teachers. And I've got a few in my mind, but I've had more not great ones than good ones, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we have a built-in barometer for teacher goodness because everyone goes through that. If you live in North America and go to public or private school, like you'll have encountered like 50 different teachers by the time you're 18 or whatever, you know? So you have a sort of scoreboard in your mind of what this is, what I like about teachers and what I don't like about teachers, what works for me and what doesn't. You ask anyone, like you can take anyone and be like, tell me your favorite teacher from school and why. They'll have an answer for you pretty quick, whether they've thought about it or not. They'll be like, oh, interesting. Like, well, actually, Mr. Markham was, you know? But if you ask someone the same question about counseling, you could say like, tell me your favorite counselor or why, or we don't have the same barometer for counselors because you don't come across them, generally speaking, growing up. Most people go to counseling for some sort of immediate crisis. And generally the stories that I hear was it wasn't good. Most times, I'd say 8 out of 10, people will say, it took a lot for them to come to me because their first experience, they will say, was so bad. And then they'll talk about what the counselor did and what they said. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, no fucking shit. Like, no wonder it took you so long, or you just thought this is what therapy was.
Yeah.
That's how you categorize it in your mind because that's what you know of it, you know? And that's a huge problem. Like, there isn't an understanding, a sort of objective understanding of what therapy is. And part of it is media because it's all depicted so shit. Good Will Hunting, I think, is one of my favorite depictions of therapy. And even in Good Will Hunting, he assaults him in the first session. He pushes Matt Damon up against the wall and it threatens to end his life for insulting his wife. You know, don't do that. Like, don't let your therapist push you up against the wall. It's not cool, even though it's in a movie. But Good Will Hunting is a pretty good depiction.
Yeah, I think like another factor when I worked with kids, they would kind of be forced to come see me. I'm like, why are you here? And they're like, well, my mom told me I had to. And I even had that of going to therapy and my mom made me. So I think for kids maybe that have gone to counseling, like that's a hard one. That first experience, even if the counselors, like they'd have to be really good, but sometimes the kid just doesn't want to be there. And so it's just like that associated experience. So if you went to counseling as a youngster, I would encourage you to try it out as an adult because you have more choice through that. But also, what was I going to say?
Shop around?
Yeah, shop around. Like, I started trying to find a new counselor, and it probably took me a year. And I actually didn't like my counselor when I first met her. Love her now. But I didn't have the best vibe with her the first. It took me some time. And then it was like, it was the right time for us to connect. I also have had counselors that I really enjoyed for a period of time. And then that chapter, like when I was splitting from my ex, once that crisis was done, I was like, oh, we're not, this doesn't feel right anymore. And so I think that's okay too, that like you will maybe seek a counselor for a specific challenge that you're experiencing or like a season in your life. And then maybe you want to go and see a counselor that specializes in something that's more somatic, or you want to go into more of like family systems versus anxiety, right? So I think that's another perspective of it's not necessarily that there's like good and bad. There are good and bad. But I think also just like knowing that there's certain counselors that are right for you in the right period of your life.
Yep.